Hi there, we're back at the Eezi-Awn factory in South Africa to show you another one of our products. Today we'd like to show you the canine rack system. Now what people don't realize is way back in 1989, Eezi-Awn was the first company to make a bolted together aluminium roof rack and have the groove in the middle of the slat and on the side to be able to bolt things down to. Now, our rack systems have traversed 7 continents, and that is thanks to Greg Miller and Scott Brady. And as far as we know, we the only company in the world where a rack system has traversed 7 continents consecutively. So what we tried to achieve with the canine rack system was that the rack would be good looking on the vehicle, that it would be slimline, that mom would be able to take the kids to school and park underground in underground parking, and that dad could go on a serious expedition should he want to. And I think we have actually achieved this, and that's why I'm just going to run through today quickly and how we've done this. We ran the slats from front to back. First of all, that reduces the wind noise on the vehicle. Anything on top of a vehicle, you will get some wind noise. But running the slats from front to back reduces that wind noise. The rack itself is only 32 millimeters. It has a ring rail that runs completely around the edge of the rack to create that expedition grade roof rack. And the rack is fully welded. The corners on the side of the rack are only for decoration. It also comes with a wind deflector as standard. And what this wind deflector does is it pushes all wind underneath the rack system. So the rack comes with all its hardware. You know, it comes with all its hardware, so it comes with platforms, it comes with the legs, and it also comes with the track or the mounting system that it's required to mount it onto the vehicle. Now the roof racks are completely aluminium extruded and then powder coated. What actually happens is that it basically fits together like a Meccano set, and then it's welded. It has a bar that runs around the edge. The plastic caps are only there for decoration, and this gives it this versatility, and the flex, it off-road, which you need. As the vehicle flexes, the rack needs to flex with it, but it also needs the strength and integrity. Now, anywhere on the system where we think needs other metals, we use steel, mild steel, and then it is passivated and then powder coated. On the washers and the nylox, we use stainless steel, because those if you want to take it off and on, you don't want those to get damaged, putting them back in and on. And on the actual bolts themselves are high tensile and also passivated. So that way we have absolutely no rust on our roof racks whatsoever. So the nice part about this rack, it is so easy to load on, and it is completely flat. So if you want to put accessories and stuff on it, it just makes it so much easier. Now the canine rack system comes with 80mm slats running from front to back. It has 8mm slots in it, 2 8mm slots in it. And these slots take a standard M8 hex head bolt. The side rails take a M6. And this is always great for adding or removing accessories. Our canine track system, we only use the bolts if the vehicle has bolts in the roof, only bolts in the roof. We would use those holes in the roof. So we bolt the track to that, and that gives it the flexibility. What actually happens is the rack's weight is spread across the track, and it's not individually on the points. Now this is just an example of how well the rack distributes its weight. Because as you can see here, under my weight, it shows absolutely no stress whatsoever. So now the track that we manufacture is vehicle specific, and it fits 100% or 99% in the groove of the vehicle. Now what this does is it alleviates any sort of movement that you get. Now what we do is this gets placed in place with a silicone sealant, but an adhesive silicone sealant. So it's exactly the same as what your windscreen would be placed in place. And then we use a rivet. Now everybody says, "Oh, how can you use a rivet?" Now the thing is we use a very special rivet. The rivet is a sealed rivet, and the mandrel stays behind. And what that does is it actually creates the track that it becomes part of the vehicle. Now what we've done is we've actually seen vehicles roll hire vehicles roll, where the track and the roof rack have actually stayed in place. And what people don't actually realize is that most panels on a car today are actually glued in place. So if this is done properly and the application is done properly and the track used is also specifically for that vehicle, I can guarantee you that you will not have a problem, because there is hundreds of vehicles running around like this. And what the other thing is what we try and do is work from the outside of the vehicle, because yes, you can still take this track and yes, you can still bolt it, but what that means is it means that your whole interior needs to be disassembled in order to bolt this track into place. And that's the reason why we use a specific track, and the reason why we use a track, so that if you want to remove the rack, you can just undo the bolts and lift the rack off. Now, Eezi-Awn manufactures a large range of different legs for different canopies and different kits for different canopies. But what people don't realize is, because the way we mount product and because we use the track system that spreads the load, we can even fit to glass fiber canopies. And glass fiber canopies were around long before aluminium canopies came along. And people were also doing expeditions and stuff with glass fiber canopies. Eezi-Awn manufactures a large range of baskets, almost to fit any vehicle. Because we manufacture the stuff in-house, we have a huge range of different baskets to fit almost any vehicle that there is out there. So should you require a roof rack for a vehicle that you cannot find one anywhere else, you're very welcome to contact us at Eezi-Awn, and I'm sure we can facilitate. As you see here, we have two different options here. We have the clamp that clamps onto the gutter of the vehicle, and then we have the track system for the canopy. Okay, we make rack systems for a lot of different vehicles and a lot of different applications. And what we have here is we have the canine system, the basket system or the system, with its legs mounted to Bush-Tex tracks. Now we do this for a lot of different canopies and stuff like that. So it's always advisable just to give us a shout and find out, or when you order, that you order the correct legs for the correct product. Because 10 to 1, we make it an item-specific leg for that vehicle or for the product you require it for. And here we have an example of the Jeep JL leg that clamps on the gutter, and a portion of the foot rests on the roof in order to spread the weight of the vehicle. On all our gutter mount clamps, we use rubbers. Now we use a special type of rubber that what it does is it actually sits in the gutter and it gives no movement. So when you remove the roof rack, you end up with it going completely back to normal. At a Gen 4 Jimmy, we made two rack systems for it. We make the K9 078A, which is a 1400 by 1600 platform. And then we make the K9 078B, which is a 1400 by 1800 platform, which comes to the front here. Now the Y62 Patrol comes standard with OMI bars on the roof of the vehicle. And the fitment option would be exactly the same. Should it be a 100 series, a 200 series, a 300 series with those OMI bars, the fitment would be very similar in all those vehicles. Now, what we do is we replace the OMI bars with the K9 track system. And everybody says, well, why can't I use my OMI bars? Sure, you can use your OMI bars, but your OMI bars can only carry a maximum weight of 60 kilograms, whereas the K9 system can carry up to 500 kilograms static load. So what we've done here is we've replaced the OMI bars with the K9 track system. Now the K9 track system obviously spreads the load on the roof of the vehicle. It bolts down into the existing holes in the roof of the vehicle, and it fits in and on top of the strip, so it is not unsightly. And what you can do is, if you want to, you can remove the roof rack from the tracks, leaving the tracks in place. And should you wish to sell the vehicle, you can always replace the tracks with the existing or with the OMI bars that you have, and it'll go back to its original condition. As you can see here, the roof racks are off the vehicle, and it's left just with the aluminium track behind. And to anybody that doesn't actually know it, you wouldn't even know that this isn't supposed to be here. What we also do is a range of spines for a few different vehicles. And we do these spines is if you don't like the look of the 3 different legs on the vehicle, but prefer the spine look. And we do this for the Tacoma, we do this for the Hilux Revo, we do it for the latest Ford Ranger, we also do it for the D-Max and for the latest Triton. And what people must keep in mind with having the spine or any similar type of unit is that it becomes very difficult to clean or to access underneath the roof rack. So for instance, in this case, you'd need to work from the back or from the front. Now the main difference with our spine units is we mount them to the track unit. So you can either mount it to 2 pieces of track, or like we have done here, to 1 complete track unit. And this, what it does is, it spreads the weight of the foot on the vehicle. And the other thing is you can remove the rack and remove the spine and just leave the piece of track in place. But what I'd like to point out is we always try and use the bolts in the roof or the original bolts in the roof of a vehicle. It's only on very few applications where the vehicles do not come with bolts in the roof that we develop tracks for those vehicles, those specific vehicles, in order to spread the weight and create a canine system that is expedition grade. So as you can see, this is an expedition grade roof rack. So this rack system has been tested off-road to carrying a capacity of 750 kilograms. But this was done with advanced drivers behind the wheels of the vehicle. With what you must realize that anything on top of the roof of the vehicle will affect the stability and the drivability of the vehicle. So as much as the roof rack can carry all this weight, we never recommend that you go past the vehicle manufacturer specifications. And those specifications, you can find them either online or you can also find them in your owner's manual of your vehicle. Now, Eezi-Awn manufactures the canine rack systems, and then we also manufacture a large range of accessories, like the canine ladder for the Jimmy Gen 4. It always is advisable just to have a look at our website or get in contact with us. But we make a massive range of accessories. We make double jerry can holders, we make single jerry can holders, we make axe brackets, we make spade brackets, we make a water tank bracket. And all of this stuff, or 99% of the stuff, is lockable and expedition grade. Now all our systems bolt on very easy. So you can remove them, you can move them around. You get an accessory adapter that bolts onto the side of the roof rack should you want to put, for example, the bottle opener or something on it. So there's no need to drill the rack whatsoever. We also make a large range of brackets. So for instance, if you want to put an LED light on it, or if you want to put a spotlight on it, or if you want to connect one of our awnings to it, or even somebody else's awning for that matter, we make a large array of kits. And because we use this stuff ourselves, we always improving on those products and those kits as we go along. Now, most of our stuff, when you remove it, you end up with just a tray, or for example, the jerry can holder, it folds flat. So the nice part about it is when you're driving around on your day-to-day business, you hardly can even see the products on the vehicle, or most of the products on the vehicle, and most of the products are actually lockable. So 99% of the products are actually lockable. So you're able to lock the jerry cans into place and so forth. There are a few items, unfortunately, that aren't lockable, but those are items that we feel aren't of value in any way. And they can be easily removed if you want to. So they would be tied down with a strap or whatever. But if you think, like the MaxTrax kit comes with the MaxTrax locking pins, and that can be locked. But if you take the normal Trax kit, you can just take a normal cable lock and you can just tie it. It's made to tie around it and keep it in place. Eezi-Awn manufactures a very large range of different baskets and different kits for the different vehicles. So please do us a favor and visit our website, which is www.eezi-awn.com. Eezi-Awn is spelled Eezi-Awn. Click on the rack selector. But should there be a vehicle that is not on that rack selector, by all means, you can reach out to us by email. And our email address is sales@eezi-awn.com. We hope you've enjoyed this video on the K9 rack systems. Happy camping from the Eezi-Awn team.